Hi everyone, and welcome to this video about how to create pivot tables in Microsoft Excel. One of the main reasons why we use pivot tables is they're a great way of summing up our data and looking for insights or trends in our data. And these are particularly useful in really large data sets. So for example, the data set you can see on the screen here is employee details or human resources details of the various different types of job titles or employees we employ. And a quick way to do some quick insights or trends, for example, if we wanted to find out how many male employees we employ or how many female employees we employ and which job titles these gender groups have, we can quickly summarize that in a pivot table. Or if we wanted to check the amount of sick leave hours somebody has taken, again, we can summarize that quickly and easily in a pivot table. So for example, if we didn't use a pivot table and we wanted to see how many male employees we employed, for example, we would have to filter this data out. So for example, if this is the gender column and the filter is already applied, so if I filter on, if I deselect everything and just select the amount of males, and then I have to hold down my mouse or the left button on my mouse and scroll all the way down to highlight all the males to get a count or a total of how many males we employ in the company. You can see that if you look at the count at the bottom of the Excel screen, it is 206 male employees, but you can see that's quite a time consuming kind of process to put on a filter on the males and do a count. So a pivot table will be a great way to summarize these kind of insights or questions you may have about your data. So the first thing to do when we create a pivot table is we have to go to the Insert tab here, and you just click on Pivot Table, and then the Create Pivot Table dialog box appears, and here it says Select a Table or Range. So this, in this box here, highlights your whole spreadsheet. So you can see the whole spreadsheet is selected, and you can use the scroll bar to check that's the case. So yes, you can see it's also, the whole spreadsheet is selected. Then if you go down to this section here, it's asking you where you want the pivot table to be placed. Because this data set is quite large, we have to place it in a new worksheet. But if the data set was quite small, you can actually put it on the existing work sheet next to your data set. So we've got this already selected. So we're just going to click on OK. And now you can see it's put it into another sheet, in sheet 3. And you can also see, if you look at the right of your screen, you've got these pivot table fields. So these are exactly the same fields that appear in sheet 1. So scroll right to the top again. So these are the exact same field names. And with a pivot table, you can summarize your data in different segments. So for example, the filters segment here, you can filter a field by dragging one of the fields into here. So for example, if you wanted to filter on a particular gender, you would drag that, place it in the fields segment. You've also got the column segment, so these will be your fields going across your spreadsheet. The rows will be your fields going down the spreadsheet, and finally the values segment, and this is where you do your calculations. So you may want to total the number of sick hours somebody has taken, or the number of female employees that your company has employed, for example. So pivot tables, as I say, a great way to summarize and are very easy to create. So for example, I'm going to drag the job title. Oops, let's grab the job title and drag it down here. So you can see the job titles are in the rows column, and then I'm going to calculate the number of sick hours these employees have taken. And for example, you can see the accountant has taken 98 sick leave hours, and the accounts manager has taken 48 sick leave hours. So you can see just by dragging and dropping two fields, one in the rows column segment and one in the value segment, we've already built an insight into our data. We can, for example, click on the pivot table again, we can, for example, put in the gender in the filters department or segment, sorry. And you can see at the moment the gender is for both male and females. But if I click here and select multiple items and then deselect males, you can see now it's given me the total number of sick hours for female accountants or for all the other job titles. So and then you can click on the filter again and click all, and then all the male gender group is added back into the total for the number of sick hours. So you can see it's really easy to drag and drop things. You can even move this agenda to the columns, and then you've got a breakdown of how many of female accountants have taken sick hours, how many female accountants have taken sick hours. For example, if we look at buyers here, we can see only 94 females have taken any form of sick hours, as opposed to 336 males, and the grand total is 430 sick days in total. So you can see it's nice and easy to build up a pivot table, and it's a much easier way to summarize your data. So we're going to do a couple more videos I'm going to post in the coming days and weeks on pivot tables, because there's a lot more things you can do with pivot tables. There's other functions that we can use in pivot tables to make them even more of a useful Excel tool. So if you do like this video, please click the subscribe button and watch out for more videos coming up soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.